Even can I ask you first just to pay tribute to Fernando Rickson? I know you played against him at international level back in 2002 with England, sadly passed away today.
Yeah, very sad news for everyone connected to the club. More importantly, his young family. You know, so on behalf of the club, I would like to pay tribute. You know, he was a fantastic player. He had a decorated career. I think he played with his heart on his sleeve. He was that type, and I think that was epitomised when he was taken ill in 2013. I think he was given 18 months to live at the time, and he's fought ever so hard up to this point. So I think that sums up the character, the warrior type on the pitch and off the pitch. But we certainly send our condolences to his young family.
Is that an example of some of those characteristics you mentioned to players from the field?
Yeah, I think he was a fantastic ambassador and role model for the club, the way he played, but also the way he handled himself off the pitch. I was lucky enough to meet him a couple of times. Recently as well, when you could see that he was in pain and suffering, but you could see the fight he was still putting up with. So it's very sad news, but he certainly deserves all the accolades that are going to come his way, because I think he handled himself not just as a footballer but as a human being, more importantly.
I know actually move on to football matters at this sad time, but in terms of this game, how important is it for Rangers to get off to a good start in this group?
Yeah, I mean, you know, when the group was made, obviously it had a Champions League feel to it because of the level of opponents we're going to be facing. But you've always got to look to your home games. You know, if we've got any ambitions or dreams to try and get out of this group, and that's got to be the target, because we're not here to make the numbers up. So we want to do everything we can to try and get out of the group. If we're to do that, we have to try and take maximum points at home. That'll be tough because Feyenoord are a good team. I know Jaap Stam quite well from his Reading days. I know how he tries to be very organised and play an attacking brand of football. So we'll have to be at it tomorrow night if we've got any ambition to take maximum points.
The rivals in the past on the pitch, are you looking forward to going up against them in terms of managers? Always.
I was lucky enough to play against him. He was a top player. One of the best defenders in the world when he was at his peak. Fortunately enough for me, he switched off for 1 second in one game, and I had one of the biggest moments of my career. But I've got nothing but respect for him as a player. I admire the fact that he's gone into management and he's testing himself and taking on all kinds of different challenges. You know, he's at home now, if you like, at Feyenoord. And you can see when you watch his team, his philosophy and his way of playing is very clear when you watch his team.
I'm sure it'll be an emotional night for many tomorrow. Do you feel that the fans can play a big part in these home games in the Europa League?
Yeah, of course. I mean, these are the nights that the supporters wanted and always want here. You know, being part of a big club, you've always got to try and get European football. I know the players are excited and ready. I'm certainly looking forward to the game. You know, I'm sure there will be a lot of emotions in the stadium tomorrow, and I think Fernando deserves that. I'm sure both sets of supporters will pay the respect. And we ask the supporters to get right behind the team, because I think it'll be a nice tribute to him if we can put in a good performance and try and get maximum points. And I think everyone knows before the ball's kick, if that was the case, we'd certainly dedicate it to him and his family.
So maybe feel quite fitting that it is against a Dutch club you come up against?
Yeah, maybe. You know, for me, he's a Rangers man. I think him staying in this country after his career had finished, I think, shows his connection with the supporters and the people of Glasgow. It's still very raw. We only found out the news, obviously, a couple of hours ago when we've come off the training pitch. So yeah, it's very sad. I'm sure the supporters are very sad at this time. And we as you know, responsible for tomorrow night's performance, want to do everything we can to try and get a win and dedicate it to him.
In terms of trying to progress in the Europa League, it did go down to the wire in the group stages last season. What did you feel you maybe had to add to the squad in the summer to take that step further in European competition?
Yeah, I think we gave it a fantastic effort last year. Unfortunately, we fell short in the last game. There was times towards the end of the group where we had to pick teams that were maybe under strength. Maybe the squad wasn't strong enough to cope both domestically and in Europe to get out of the group. I've got more confidence and belief in this group of players because I feel we've added quality to it. We've got a bit more strength in depth. Having said that, I do feel this group's probably a bit more difficult than last year, so the challenge is tougher. But it's certainly one we want to take on. As I say, we don't fear anyone in the group. We're the underdogs, and we'll go out and give it our best shot. But I believe we've got a squad capable of competing and giving it a good shot to get out.
Sorry, can we just...
I'm from Dutch television. Again about Fernando Ricksen. How did you personally react when you heard the news today?
Sorry?
How did you personally react when you heard the news of his death?
Well, obviously, I was very sad to hear the news. Obviously, I'm well aware of the situation. Fernando's illness, he's been ill for a long time, and we always get regular updates. He visited us not so long ago at the training ground. So I've seen it with my own eyes, his situation that he was in and the suffering he was going through. But we get regular updates in terms of how he's doing, and I believe he deteriorated very much in the last 6-7 days. Was in a lot of pain and was very stressed. So yeah, I mean, no one likes to hear that news. So myself and all the players and all my staff were very sad to hear the news.
Do you have a personal memory to him?
Only playing against him as a player. Obviously watching from afar, following Rangers as a club when I used to watch a lot of games. The type of player he was, what he used to give for the team, the sacrifices he used to make. And then obviously you have your memories of late when we see him suffering and he's in a wheelchair, and he came to visit the training ground and the players. And it, you know, obviously you can see the pain he's going through, so it wasn't a nice experience.
Then about Feyenoord, do the people know here that you played last year in Feyenoord shirt?
I don't know. They do now. You've just told them. Yeah, I just went over to Feyenoord, to Rotterdam, to pay my respects to Dirk Kuyt, a player who I played with for many years at Liverpool.
Testimonial.
A testimonial for Dirk, yeah. Still a close friend of mine. Great person, great guy, hell of a player. I believe he's coaching the under-19s team now, and he's trying to get as much experience as he can. So hopefully one day Dirk's on the side and I'll be competing against him as a coach.
How do you compare Feyenoord and Glasgow Rangers at this moment?
I think we're different. I think we play in different leagues. Obviously, different personnel. I don't really see many similarities in both teams. I think we're both different.
Because I think both are clubs from the people and the crowd behind it. It's similar, or not?
Yes, if you say so.
Stephen, how's Ryan Kent? Has there been a diagnosis there?
He's improving. He's improving. He's now pain-free, walking around. I still think he'll be a couple of weeks away. He has got a hamstring problem. They're obviously tricky ones to deal with. They're injuries that you can't really rush. So we'll be patient and get him ready to come back. But he is improving.
Was Jamie Murphy be fit?
For tomorrow.
Anytime?
Yeah, Jamie's been fit for a long time, but he's fighting for match fitness and sharpness. He was out for a year, if you like. That takes time to get back to your best. It's all right being back in training, but that sharpness and that physicality and being ready to compete for real takes its time to come back. He's showing signs that he's getting close. So it wouldn't be surprising me if you did see him in the coming weeks. We might have to accelerate pushing him along because of the injuries to Jordan Jones and Ryan Kent, but I'm sure Murph's chomping at the bit. He's waited a long time for a comeback game.
And just lastly, just in terms of the challenge Feyenoord present, what would you say is one of the biggest threats?
Yeah, I think they come with a big reputation, a massive club. They'll bring big support, and they play an exciting brand of football. So there's certainly a team we need to show full respect to. They've got match winners in the team. I don't think they'll come and sit in and be negative. I think they'll come and play and believe that they can take maximum points. So it's all set up to be a fantastic game, and one we're all looking forward to.
There's one more broadcast.
Stephen, you spoke about Feyenoord's strengths. Is this the kind of game where you play to your strengths, go out and attack, or do you try and perhaps limit theirs?
Well, I don't think I'm going to sit here and give me give me game plan away, but every opposition that come into Ibrox, we always analyse where they're strong, and we try and do everything we can as a team and collectively to deal with their threats. They come with pace in the wide areas. They like to combine and play some nice stuff in the final third. So it's important we're compact and we defend really well. I'd like to see how they deal with our strengths. You know, doesn't matter who comes into Ibrox, we always want to try and play an aggressive style on the front foot, and we want to play to the emotion in the crowd, and with the crowd behind us, a full house, and we'll see where our performance levels takes us. I believe we get close to our best. I'm confident we can get the result we want.
We have broadcast questions for Scott, please.
Scott, obviously these are massive games at Ibrox, the type of games that the players come to the club for. How much of the squad have you noticed are looking forward to this one?
Oh, every single person. That's why we're in this job. It's why we play for this football club, to play under the lights, this demand, expectation on a European night. So it's one of the players that we're very much looking forward to, as you'd expect.
Obviously there was a lot of hard work during the qualifiers to get to this point. These sort of big home games are almost a kind of reward, but is it important not to see it as that and just, you know, sort of start again and aim for those group knockout stages?
Exactly that. I think we see it as the first game as a new challenge. I think through every game that we played, through the first game in I think it was the middle of July, 12th of July, we've been in it for a long haul. Every challenge was one that we needed to overcome, and this is the next step. We've got 6 huge games in this group, and this is the first hurdle for us as players to go after it. And as the manager says, the home form's going to have a massive effect if we progress through into this the next stage yet. So, of course, we want to go to the best start as possible.
Given last year's campaign, has the set target? Is it lifting the cup at the end? Is the ambition bigger than last year?
Oh, it is what it is. It's at this football club, you're always under the microscope of being success and being successful. It's been built on tradition and success over the years. We're no different to that. We go out to be the best that we can be, to win every game, and hopefully at the end of the season we've got something to shout about.
As a group of players, do you expect an emotional night given today's news?
Of course, after the terrible news this morning, obviously it's a unfortunate incident that's happened, but we can only echo the thoughts of the manager, obviously, to Fernando's family and his young family. And us as players, we want to go out there and put on a show and make everybody connected with Rangers Football Club smile again.
What have you learned from last season's competition? The manager was saying that you're maybe in a better place now going into this, and what have you learned personally from the squad?
I've learned a lot. I think that's through the pre-season. I think that's why we've probably invested quite heavily for these moments, when we can call on different players in different games, different positions to play, and given the opposition, it's only going to get stronger as the season goes on. So we've managed to get ourselves into this situation, into the group stages. But us as players, we know that we can only look in the dressing room and see how heavily it is in terms of personnel. So when you've got the shot, you need to keep it as much as possible, and I think that's the driving force behind it.